She applied here. I'm just kidding. No.
Oh wow. Hopefully. Which one will be worse?
So what's the end of the?
She has no teaching load. I have to move her out. What else I can do? And it is so sad, because we used to be good friends, but for student benefit, sometimes we have to fight. For students' benefit, how students in data science gonna do a statistical analysis without R programming or Python programming? It's just something that ridiculous or weird. But if people don't want to adapt herself into a new technology, then what else you can do? You can force them. Well, as a dean, you may be able to answer these questions better than me.
Ajahn, there's a question about OHEC, right? How prepared is our OHEC to all these changes?
No one is too old to learn, I think.
I mean the government.
Oh, sorry.
Office of Higher Education Commission.
I won't expect anything from them. So, again, nobody can change things for you unless you want to change and adjust yourself, period. They won't do anything, because, well, they cannot demand to close university, no, but university will go bankrupt by itself. It's a fate of common, so if I were them, only a strongest and a fittest, those who adjust most can survive. But if not the case, let them die by themselves. I won't expect that Ministry of Education will do anything. Sorry to say that, yeah.
Ajahn, there's one question about flipped classroom. Mm-hmm. If one of the successful factors of a program is professors, and how come the flipped classroom is popular when there's no professor requirement?
Well, I won't say that flipped classroom is always successful too, but when you get more talented kids into your class, flipped classroom is very preferable because they prefer to work hard and they want a feedback really bad. So you ask them to learn from a lecture in a video, you give them a data set and give them a paper and then work on it and do a presentation. And I said, oh, this is not right. And okay, this is the way to revise to make it better. It's just like coaching, and they really value a real practical coaching that I give to them. There's one kid I still remember in a class asking about, he works in a retail industry, a green one, okay? And he asks like, how can I evaluate the effectiveness of discount coupon that I have sent to a customer? And I ask a very hard questions. And in that class, I teach experimental design. So I teach them how to design a quasi-experiment into a real practice and go through all those questions all together and spend about 2 hours to answering those questions. And he said, oh, this semester I pay about 30,000 baht for a tuition, and your consultation worth more than that. And it's free consultation, I get nothing. This is not fair to me, right? Kids will come to you if you can do something like apply and get into a real practical questions. They really enjoy class, I think. But if it's all about lecture, then they're gonna, lecture sometimes can be boring because people's attention is really short. Like my presentation, I try to be really short so that everybody with me, and then it should be a discussion. That's what I guess.
And you talk a lot about aging society, and then there's a question about if we target old people, what kind of courses would attract?
That's really good questions. For example, in my field, a lot of people in IT industry are really obsolete. Is there any computer science or computer engineering here in this school? Yes, okay. Yeah, couple of you, okay. Yeah, you can reskill them with a new skill that is really needed: data science, machine learning, artificial intelligence, cybersecurity, things of those types. You teach a new skill that they are not so lucky. They are born too early to learn. But there could be something that you can reskill people, but have to make sure that such skill is really needed in industry, and people in industry still lack of those skills. The only way that you can know what is really in need is to engage with those industry and community. Otherwise, you will be obsolete.
There's some similar questions on AI if you would like to add more, but I think you have answered already things about AI would replace professors, human and things like that. And then what do you think? Is there anything else that AI cannot replicate humans? We already talked about soft skills and other things you would like to
soft
add.
skill, integrated skill, aesthetic skill, something that cannot be remembered or calculated, but something that has to be practiced. You know what? I see one AI robot that learn ping pong with a professional ping pong player by videotaping using a video recording, and they use a robot that imitate a professional ping pong player and create a robot that can play ping pong like a professional ping pong player. And any of you used to be an athlete or play ping pong or play tennis, you have to pay about 4,000 for an hour so that you can play with them. To rehearse with them, you have to pay. But right now, AI can be your player and practicer and rehearser at the same time, and way cheaper than 4,000 baht an hour for those professionals. So yeah, we have to have something that is really unique that AI cannot imitate you easy, like creativity, design, things of those types.
I think this is the last question, and open to the floor again. There's a question about if more schools are closed, maybe more universities, right? Would this affect poor students more than rich students?
I don't guess so, because we have KYSO, Education Loan Fund, and right now an access to education is not that bad. You can borrow money to get into school. And a school wants more students than before, so it's way easier for students to get in school and won't affect the poor, I guess. I don't think, because some school even offer a scholarship so that they can maintain professor workload. Seriously, I have seen some program doing so. So more free scholarships so that professor can survive, which is not a good thing for school in the long run, right? Because you have what we call a fund, school fund, whatever, เงินทุนคณะ will drop down.
I think I can open this for the floor.
Please.
Well, I have a question concerning, more myself, because I just have a 1-year-old daughter. Now, I see you have an example of Japanese robot teaching kids mathematics. Does that affect them in a deeper level? Because I read a study that when you read a book, a physical textbook, and versus an iPad and versus Kindle, it affects how you learn a little bit differently. What would be the effect of the using robot to teach kids anything? Even for one thing is okay, but for everything, Is there any study on the positive, negative impact of that?
Well, that research, I have read it, and it is true because they compare reading from PDF mode and a paper mode, right, which has nothing interactive. But a better AI can do something what we call misconception diagnosis. Say that for a program instruction, if you choose some choice, and a computer will analyze and know that, oh, because you forget to open a parenthesis or you forget something, a computer can suddenly give students a feedback why they did it wrong. So for an interactive AI teacher or smarter AI teacher, they may one day outperform human teacher or even a paper. But right now, it's not there yet. Because I have seen that educational testing service are really drive into what they call cognitive diagnostic. When you test, you can understand why people have such a misconception. And as a teacher, when you grade, you really care that how students make a mistake. Yeah,
Okay.
it can be. But there must be something that is harder to teach. For example, integrity or ethics. I think human role model can be more effective than computer because there's nothing as motivated. You have to be what you preach, and a real role model can be more effective than computer. That's what I think, but maybe I'm wrong. In the near future, computer may be smarter than.
Well, I would hope the computer is not more ethical than me. I would hope.
Yes,
I mean,
it
on
can
a
be.
certain-
It's
But maybe.
there's a Tay and Rinna. It's a AI chatbot developed by Microsoft, and there's one chatbot has been introduced in Japan, and people in Japan try to speak softly and kiku anone, something like that. So those chatbots in Japan, they speak a soft and polite word and cheerful word, a beautiful word. Compared to in the US, they introduced a new chatbot. And within a month, a chatbot learned to speak something bad words, hate speech, and blah, 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 something really bad. So Microsoft said, I have to stop it because people are really bad at teaching computer and train them a chatbot to be a damn obstinate guy, So, yeah, it can be the case too.